This is Newslight.
Foreign businessmen in the country are also extending a helping hand in the massive rehabilitation program in disaster areas. Among them is a group of foreign chambers of commerce in the Philippines. This report by Freddy Abando.
2 months after the tragedy and tears left by Yolanda's fury, survivors in the devastated areas of eastern Visayas are slowly picking up the pieces of what's left of their possessions to start a whole new life. The good news, while relief operations is sustained, recovery is on the way. The government's recovery assistance of Yolanda is on the move with the reconstruction of temporary shelters. Support from the country's official development partners is a major boost.
I must say I'm struck by the degree to which there's been a very, very strong international response, and I think local governments have responded very well, and the national government under its new sort of recovery czar is become organized, and the Philippine private sector, and I say Philippine, I include the foreign companies that are in the Philippines and have been, like Shell is celebrating its 100th anniversary this month in the Philippines, and their foundations are also responding through the organization that was set up for that purpose.
The group of foreign chambers of commerce in the Philippines are committed to the recovery of the economy in the devastated areas. Early this week, Filipino companies pledged their support for RAY to be led by rehabilitation star Secretary Panfilo Lacson. Their commitment resources to build housing, schools, health centers, and to provide livelihood. The key to livelihood is the reopening of sari-sari stores, markets, and malls. Banks are back to normal operations.
There are companies which are, if they're not able to volunteer to be an area manager, they're volunteering resources per sector. So some companies are saying, I will support education, like school buildings, or I will support hospitals, or I will support livelihood, or I will support other programs. So there are already people coming in to say they'll step forward. We're in the process of working with Senator Lacson's staff and Undersecretary Dan Antonio how to put that all on a map so we know that it's evenly distributed. It's not all in one area and completely absent in others. So which is why there's a listing of actually 24, if you want to call it, zones.
A major contribution for foreign companies to the reconstruction efforts is to establish light industries. Tacloban City is emerging as the future site for a special economic zone to host these industries which will generate more jobs and contribute to the economic recovery of the city and Leyte province.
We do have a proposal that was put forth in a press conference. 20 business organizations, including the foreign chambers, on manufacturing. We have a specific proposal for domestic, economic, and export zones. In fact, yesterday when I was in Tacloban, I looked at an area which had been established by a decree in 1998, developed in terms of putting the civil works and the utilities and some standard factories. The minimum wage in eastern Visayas is about 250. So it's roughly half what it is here in the NCR. I think there's great potential for light industry there, and that will bring jobs, or if we can get the investors in. This is just the beginning of a program, but I understand it's being studied by the DTI, by the PEZA, and others in the government. It would really be an excellent way in eastern Visayas and in Panay and Bohol.
For the People's Television Network, this is Freddy Abando reporting.
This is Newslight.